Your best friend is probably your biggest enemy and the reason you're still broke, fat, and stuck in life. Sounds insane, right? Let me explain before it's too late. Friends can be more dangerous than enemies. Only one friend can cause you more damage than 10 enemies. You might think I'm crazy, but in a couple of minutes, you will question everything. Even the so-called real friends in your life. The people closest to you, the ones who love you, could easily betray you. Amongst all people, they're the easiest to get jealous of you. On top of that, they get comfortable, which makes them even more prone to turn against you. Why? Because comfort turns to resentment real fast. Your enemies, on the other hand, they're sharp. They always stay on the edge, watching your moves. You can learn from that and even use them for your own good. And I will teach you how to do that. But friends get soft, and softness is poison. Look, I've explained a very important lesson in the last video, so go watch it and come back to this one. I explained the core of how human mind works there. And without that foundation, you'll miss the depth of what comes next. It's essential for you to understand this topic. Fake friendship is the norm. This world is a cruel place, and your friend will soothe you, try to make you feel better, tell you it's not that bad. When you gain weight, they'll tell you you still look great. When you make a joke, they laugh like you're a comedian. Of course, your friends know you're the best. Do you realize how dangerous that is and how much harm can that cause you? Well, if my friends were good, then why would I ask someone else for help? You see, the danger lies exactly there. Your friends are not as good as they seem. They lie to protect your feelings. It feels like support, but it's manipulation. They will agree on things they disagree with just to avoid an argument, not out of love, but out of fear. They will hide the things they hate about you just to avoid insulting you. They will laugh even at your worst jokes, just to make you feel better. They will tell you look good when you gain weight, pretty when ugly, dressed nicely when in your worst clothes, and so on. Sure, a friend may really mean the compliment sometimes, but in most cases, it's fake. The truth hardly ever makes your bond with someone stronger, and everyone is full of flaws. But people don't want to accept the harsh reality. So that's why the majority of relationships are fake. And you only crave them because they make you feel good and not because they're real. You want a real example? Here it is. How many times have you seen a hot girl with a fat best friend? And you think that's coincidence? No, that's ego manipulation. The pretty one wants to feel even more hotter and the fat one wants to feel accepted. They feed each other's delusions, but they're pretending. And that's the only reason why they stay friends. And guess what? Your friendships might be operating the same exact way. The tactic I gave you last time about using high value people for leverage, your friends are doing that to you every fucking day. And you call that love. People stick around for what they get and not because they care. But even if after all these reasons you decide to keep your friends close, just remember this, your generosity will backfire. If you do a big favor to your friend, make them level up, get them a job, plug them into your business, find them a girl, basically change their life in any meaningful way, they will finally show their real face to you. They turn on you, and not because you did something wrong, but because you helped them. All the things they were hiding, the flaws, weaknesses, true opinions, it will all be revealed. And the more serious the favor, the more likely this happens. Your act of generosity will actually backfire because people can't stand the fact that someone helped them achieve something. They will subconsciously create this feeling as if you're looking down on them. And this will suffocate their mind because they would rather think that everything they achieved, they earned on their own. Their ego can't stand that someone else pulled them up. And this happens in relationships too, all the time. If you're a man, you probably experienced this. You do hundreds of good things for your girl. You give her love, loyalty, gifts, effort. Then you only mess up once for one small stupid mistake and she's gone. She breaks up like you never meant shit to her. Like nothing ever happened. She finds a new relationship who's not even better than you, and then you're stuck asking yourself, what happened? What makes them better? Why not me? Listen, it's not about you. It's only about them. No matter how much love and support you give to someone, if they're not ready, it will only push them away. And if you try to keep a girl by reminding her of all the good moments and all the good things you did, you're only gonna push her away even further. Being thankful is a burden. Revenge is pleasure. That's why no ex is appreciative. They only want to hurt you because that will make them feel good. And appreciating your good deeds can only hold them down. And everyone wants to feel like their decision is correct. Root cause of this is emotions, not logic. Because if people followed logic, they would avoid so many bad mistakes in life. And that's why when someone breaks up with you, you shouldn't find a logical explanation. No matter what they tell you, it was most likely emotional. And that's human nature. You can't fix it. You can just understand it. My advice is, do not stay stuck in those relationships or thoughts. Just accept these traits as human nature, move on, and level up. And if you don't accept that, you'll stay stuck asking why instead of building yourself up, which is the only viable option. And when you want to give all your love and support to someone, remember this: you're not meant to save everyone. A bee doesn't teach a fly not to eat shit. So why are you wasting time trying to save people from themselves? If they were good enough, they wouldn't have shitty lives in the first place. Everyone gets what they deserve. God is giving. And those who are not ready yet are not there for a reason. And it's not your duty either to prepare them. So why the fuck are you wasting time trying to fix people who don't want to be fixed? I made this mistake so many times with so many people, but it never did me any good. You can't give your life force to someone, no matter how much you love them. That's the most hurting part about it, but you can do nothing. So stop playing savior. Another problem with friendships is that day ones will hold you back. Your friends are very unlikely to push you in the right direction. If you're trying to pursue an exceptional life and achieve big goals, your friends are probably not in the position you want to be in. Because if they were, they probably wouldn't be your friends. Most of your friends are not chasing greatness. And I know a lot of you think that sticking with your day ones is the morally correct decision, and by all means it can be. But only if you chase goals together. But if they're procrastinators, they will only drag you down with them. And you need to stop looking at them as, they never did me any wrong, so I'm gonna stay loyal. Just because they're not harming you on purpose doesn't mean they're good for you. Morality says be loyal, but reality says cut that weight. If you were at the bottom of the ocean and you have a rock tied to your ankle that you kept from your birth, are you ready to suffocate and die because of that rock? Or are you gonna cut it down, appreciate what you had with it, and continue to live? Use your brain. It's very unlikely that your friends are the one who can offer you the most amount of benefits. Because why would they? If they were so special, they would do all the great things by themselves. They wouldn't hang out with you and waste time. Never take advice from someone living a life you don't want. After all, skills and knowledge are the only important thing in life. No billionaire will care if you would want to be friends with them. They would only want to see what you can do. This mistake costed me $500,000. When I was younger, I had a mutual investment with two friends. April 2020, I think it was. Bitcoin drops to 3,000. Two of us wanted to go all in, but the third one didn't want to agree. No matter how much we explained to him that this is the opportunity of our lifetime. Fast forward a couple of years, we sold the investment for far less than $500,000 I would now have in Bitcoin. And if I was doing this business deal with someone who feared me, I would just quit. Tell them to give me my money and I would just go and buy Bitcoin alone. So why didn't I leave? I couldn't, because I didn't want to break the friendship. And is $500,000 worth those people? Fuck no, I don't even hang around them anymore. So you see how stupid that was. Moral of the story is, your only goal is to do what you must to improve, not make friends. Your feelings will only delay your actions. If fear of hurting someone stops you from winning, you already lost. And sure, in my case, maybe it was for the best. I was young and I would have probably spent that money on a fast car or some stupid shit. And this way I had to make my money the hard way, and I learned a lot of business lessons that I would have probably skipped. Every person has a purpose, not a lifetime role. Every single person that God and the universe send your way have their unique purpose. But not everyone is meant to be forever. A girlfriend is for love, a business partner is for business, a friend is for fun, but don't expect one person to be everything. And being friendly on its own has no purpose if there is no interest involved. That's just the reality. There was no pat on the back when I was a 120 kilogram fat guy about to get diabetes. And I was the friendliest person you could ever meet. No one clapped for me in the gym. I got shredded on my own. The biggest life decisions I made on my own. The biggest achievements I accomplished on my own. You see the pattern? Girls I gave all my heart crushed it. Friends I helped the most betrayed me like I was nothing. And sure, there are good people out there, but I would rather bet on myself and not rely on other people. I'm not saying have no friends ever, but if you're better off without the person, then don't have them in your life. It's that simple. Build yourself. Don't build relationships that serve no purpose. The only thing you can't lose is yourself. Everything else is out of your control, and that's how it's supposed to be. On the other hand, enemies can be more useful than friends. And you see this in girls quite often. In a lot of lessons, I will mention girls in my stories, because they're the biggest mirror and reflection of you and your decisions in life. More on that in future episodes, but women can give you a bunch of very important lessons in life. In any case, let me give you an example of how enemies can unite as best friends. When I was dating these two girls, the side chick got jealous of the main one, so she made a plan to tell her everything. She basically approached her by a mutual friend, told her that I was fucking her for some time, and she even explained in great detail all the nastiest things we did. And let me tell you, both of them hated each other. They couldn't stand one another, but they united for the goal of the side chick, which is me breaking up with the main one. What ended up happening was I continued fucking the main chick and cut off the side one for doing that. So it didn't work. But you see how enemies turn around when they have a common goal. It's very easy for that to happen. And by the way, after the main chick found out about the side one, we had the best sex ever. I'm not giving you any ideas, but just talking from experience, so you do what you want to do with that information. If you want the whole story, just tell me in the comments and I'll make a separate video just for this. This is one of the funniest stories of my whole life. Girls are the best at doing this because they have the emotional tendency to switch up on people so fast. So this is a tactic they use all the time. When you have a common goal, enemies will always be quite useful. They wouldn't know what to expect from you and they will even try to prove themselves to you. If they benefit from you, they will perform. Focused and strategic. Unlike friends, they won't let the mission fail because of their feelings. And if the goal is big enough, they will do everything they can to achieve it. So they're the perfect pick. Did it work in my situation? No. But that's when you go against me. But I bet you this side chick is ruining someone's life right now using the same exact tactic. So take this as an advice. It's way better to have a couple of well-known enemies around you who you're cautious about than not knowing who your real enemy is. You become powerful only when you're ready for conflict and you see it up front. That way, you know how to position yourself and win. And to become that kind of person, you must know how to use enemies sometimes. Every person that walks through your life has a purpose. So do they. And no relationship is really ended until you both die. So even the person you hate the most can be quite useful in some nasty situations you want to get out of. That's why exes come back all the time. And if you want me to make a video on how to get an ex back, just comment down below and I'll make it real soon because I've got a perfect strategy just for that. Reality is, most people don't belong in your life. People want their relationships to be eternal for some reason, but life is not meant to be like that. Do you understand that life is as important as death itself? You meeting that person for the first time and never seeing them again have the same value. If someone doesn't meet your standards, they must go. Sorry if that hurts your feelings, but you gotta take care of yourself first. Meet someone, learn the lesson they taught you, move on. Friends, enemies, doesn't matter. Once they serve their purpose in your life, your goals change or they don't meet your standards. Sorry, but that's just how it is. And if you tell me that no matter what they do, you will keep them, then you're just born to lose. So stop trying to fix people. I'm not saying use people on purpose, but you should cut off all the people that sabotage your growth. If you have a friend that pushes you further to accomplish your goals and doesn't drag you down, then fuck yeah, keep them. But that's the only case this applies. And I'm telling you, it's fucking rare. Build yourself. The only thing you truly own is yourself. Relationships are seasonal, but you're permanent. If a friend pushes you, supports your vision, holds you accountable, keep them. But most don't. That's reality. Average people are everywhere. And being exceptional is way harder than you can imagine. And if you want to be that, then cut off all the noise. There's no other option. When I was 120 kilograms fat, I would get annoyed when someone even mentioned I was fat. And I would seek comfort only in people who didn't care about it, not realizing how bad that was. You can't escape reality. You can get over any obstacle, but only if you face it. My condition went so far to the point of me almost getting diabetes. And only then did I realize what have I done with my body. Long story short, I'm jacked now. But the point is, the only people I surround myself by now are the ones who push me to my limits and the ones that help me achieve my goals. That's the decision I made, and look how far it got me. But you do your own thinking and decide what's best for you. My advice: choose power over comfort. If you're fat, the only real friend you have is the one that tells you to hit the gym. That's love. That's reality. Everything else is just noise, and noise won't get you anywhere. So now it's your turn. Cut the noise, build the vision, hit the gym, do whatever you must to achieve your goals. And remember, average people are everywhere. Be very cautious who you keep close. They can turn your life around in both directions.